Hi there, I'm Vicki PARFENOW from Aussie Stampers and Vicki PARFENOW Studio. Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you're here. Today I have all this lovely yummy goodness in front of me. Going to make some cards. I have 2 cards I'm going to make today. Can you hear the kookaburras? They're just calling outside the window there. Okay. We live in the bush. It's absolutely gorgeous. So many gorgeous birds around here. It's wonderful. All right, let's get back to the cards. 2 cards today, and it came from a bit of I guess an exploration into my stamps. I was looking for some silhouette stamps, and I own 2 silhouette stamps. That's it. I do love Lavinia stamp silhouettes. I think they're really, really pretty. They're sort of an iconic silhouette image, very finely detailed, and I have made some nice cards with this. This other one's adorable. This is from craftyindividuals.co.uk, and you probably can't read this with the camera, but it says meet under the tree for a nice cup of tea. And this has so many fine details in it. It's wonderful. You would definitely need a stamp positioner to stamp this, because you'd probably have to stamp it a few times. I actually haven't used it yet. That might be coming up in a future video. But it's just adorable. It was just such a fun image. I loved it. But they are the only silhouette stamps I own, and I thought, should I go out and buy some more, or can I turn one of my stamps into a silhouette? So I looked through all my stamps and I came up with this one. This is an old one by Stampin' Up called Remarkable You, and I looked at this image and I thought, wow, that will easily make a silhouette image. Now there's a little bit of a line coming out there. There's a couple of little lines coming out there. I'm not too worried about that. I can cover them up with my Sharpie. I have a fine point Sharpie in black. I also have a Copic marker in black, which is the 100 or 100 in black. If you don't have a Copic, you can use a Sharpie. If you don't have a Sharpie, you can use a Copic marker. And I'm going to be stamping in VersaFine Onyx Black ink, which is a pigment ink for fine details. That would actually be a really great ink for this one, because they are super fine, the details on that stamp. All right, so I'm going to get into it. 2 cards today, not 1, but 2, yes, 2. I have a tape runner, I have my stamping positioner, I have my Speedball Brayer, which is what I use for a chucky tool or a stamp glider. Works beautifully. I love my red Baren that I use for my gel printing and for my lino cut printing and all the rest. Now the other thing I have, which is a lot of fun, and I thought you might like to know about, I have some coloured envelopes. Now I went to Officeworks, which is our big stationery store in Australia, and I found these quill envelopes. So 3 packs. I thought, wow, this is fabulous. I have to have all 3. So there is a pastel assorted colour, which is your pinks, your pale blues, your pale greens, your pale lemons, and a nice buff colour. That's a really nice buff. So that's going to go beautifully with our pink and our blue cards today. I've picked out the pink and the blue. Where's the blue? There it is, those 2 colours for our cards today. But they also had them available in brights. These would be great for kids' cards, I think. And yes, I had to have fluoro. I'm really into fluoro colours at the moment. Don't ask me why. Look how they're really out there, aren't they? They're really out there, but I do like fluoros. So I don't know where I'm going to use them, but it's probably going to be somewhere. The other thing I have for my base before I do the stamping, I'm going to use this layering piece and this layering piece. You can see how nicely that goes with the blue. So this is the piece that's going with the pink. So coordination is all happening. This comes from some Stampin' Up papers. This is the Abstract Beauty 4" by 6" Specialty Designer Series paper. I think I used this in a previous video for something else as well. It has some gold foiling in it, which is nice. It has some watercolour pieces in it, which I adore. Anything watercolour. You know I love my Winsor & Newton professional watercolours. Look at that. How pretty is that? And this, wow, really pretty stuff. I've picked out 2 pages from that, which are my layering piece. I have a tape runner to adhere that to the front of the cards. I'm not going to adhere it right away, and I will explain why in a moment. Then I have 2 greetings, miss you and hugs, that are going inside the cards. This is from My Favourite Things. And I love, love, love this wreath image. I've used this quite a lot. It's great for colouring, and I'll probably come back and show you some cards with that further down the track. But for today, I'm using the greetings. They will go inside the card because the front is going to be our silhouette. It's going to be the star of the show. So I'm going to do the greetings first, and there's a reason why I do this and why I don't layer anything until the inside greetings have been stamped. So let's get into that now. So take your stamp positioner, have your ink ready, and we're going to do our greeting first. So I want it about here in the center. This is the Miss You from My Favourite Things. And now I'm going to check with the grid, which is on the door of the stamp positioner. It's perfectly straight. Imagine that. I got it right the first time. All right. Ink up and stamp. Perfect. I do love the VersaFine Onyx ink. It usually stamps first go on virtually everything except for perhaps watercolour paper. Anyway, there's the first one done. Clean my stamp with a baby wipe. And this is why I don't layer up first. I'm going to use that for the front cover. There is a little bit of ink has been spilled on that. So I'm going to, if that's the front cover, let's just double check. I'm going to stamp up here for my inside image. So that's why I don't layer up straight away. It gives you a couple of stabs at getting it right. Okay, so the hugs is going to go this way. And for this image, I won't need the mat because this is a rubber stamp, so it doesn't need this piece. And I will just place it where I want it to go. Okay. Right in the middle. Slightly slanted. So if you look at the way it's placed there, it is slanting slightly to one side. This is such a quick and easy way to make a card and make it look special with the coloured envelope, with the layering piece of that beautiful watercolour paper where the work's already been done for you. Using a really good fine ink like the VersaFine Onyx Black means often you just need to stamp once and it's a perfect image like I've just done there. And the next piece, so there's our pink layer. Look how pretty that is. Just like that, it's a beautiful card. And without positioning it any different way, because I know that's right in the center, I'm going to ink up again. perfect. You can see how well that's stamped even across the gold foiling. It's done a really good job of covering that. Cleaning up. Just use a baby wipe or some stamp cleaner, whatever you prefer. If you're interested in seeing how I converted all these Stampin' Up! Stamps into slimline cases for slim storage, they take up far less space on my shelves now. I have a video on how to do that on stamp storage for small spaces, so you can have a look at that. It's in my playlist under craft storage ideas. Okay, so I guess you know what I'm going to do next. All I'm going to do one with my Copic marker and one with my Sharpie, just to test which one seems to work the best. I think I'm reserving my Copic marker for the gold. And around we go. This is a really pretty image as it is, as I said, but we're going to turn it into a silhouette stamp. And this gives me one new kind of stamp in my stash that I don't need to go out and buy. Oh, I did say I was going to use the Copic on this one, just to see if there's any difference. I thought this one might colour the gold slightly better. We'll see how she goes. Okay, I would say for our test, the first one works really well. This is just a flat matte paper. With the gold, the ink doesn't want to sit on top of it. So I'm going to bring in my black acrylic paint and see what happens if we use that over top of gold. Okay, so I brought in some black acrylic. I'm going to use it undiluted. I'm not going to mix it with water or anything like that. I've just got a fine tip paintbrush, and let's paint over the gold. So it has slightly more pointy leaves. That's cute. I like it. Okay, so we're going to let that dry and I'll come back and wash this up and get back to you. We'll put the cards together. Oh, a tip I want to give you too is this will bleed through, so make sure you protect your surface. I just have a really easy surface that I work on with all my art products here, so I'm not too concerned about it, but it will bleed through because the ink in Copic markers will bleed through. It's designed to. You can see how there's a bleed through there. So protect what's underneath you. I can just clean all this off pretty simply. This is a very tough surface I work on here at my desk. Everything cleans up nicely. There's our little spot that we're now able to cover up with the layering piece. So that's a handy tip to know, to do the inside first. So there you have it, how to make 2 silhouette cards from a non-silhouette stamp. So have a look through your stamps and see if you have some really bold outline stamps that you can use as a silhouette as well. It's going to give you more use from your stamp sets. I hope you enjoyed that today. I'm really pleased with how these came out. I love the painting exercise with this. That was great fun. Look forward to seeing you again next time. Bye for now.